On this episode of One-on-One Sports,
we look at which top 25 college football teams can recover from defeat.
Play panic or not to panic with the NFL.
And spend time turning left to talk about some NASCAR.
All that and so much more.
And it all starts right now. Hello and welcome to this episode of One-on-One Sports. I'm Ellie Whittington.
And I'm Thomas Hale. Last week we were treated to the 17th sports equinox in history. So we here at One-on-One decided to have a little sports equinox of our own with our quick hitters. It's officially Lonzo time in LA. After all the talk and all the shenanigans, Lonzo Ball has officially begun his NBA career. The NBA family has been in the news ever since Lonzo broke out at UCLA. And with the Lonzo Ball era officially underway, how will the Lakers handle the presence of his new star? Ellie, what do you think?
I think that the problem is not Lonzo, but rather his father. This is insane.
LeVar.
Yeah, LeVar. And the PR, like, where are these PR people saying, I mean, how do you control a father, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think that it starts from communication between the team and maybe him and his people.
Do you think he shouldn't be out there doing those interviews like that all the time, calling out players?
His father?
Yeah.
I think absolutely not. So the the Lakers play the Wizards on Wednesday, and his father said this week, they better be beware because Lonzo ain't losing again, not in the same week. And it's just
He's
attacking.
confident in his son.
Yeah, it's confidence, but that is just rude.
Yeah.
And it's not good PR,
I see where you're coming from, but I like what he's doing. I think it's bringing on a lot of competition for Lonzo. As you can see, Patrick Beverley clapped back at LeVar and shut Lonzo down in that game after the comments that he made. And I think that this gives a lot of opportunity for Lonzo to show his stuff.
So you think it's friendly competition? I mean, his dad did help him in the draft. He got higher salary pay. I mean, it has became positive results for Lonzo. But I don't
been
think
behind
it's
him the whole time. He's going to keep doing it all season. We can't stop him.
In my opinion, let his playing do the talking. Just shut up. Let us play.
I think LeVar wants us to do the same thing, but he's just going to get us excited a little more.
We'll see. NHL teams are traveling to a new city this season. The Las Vegas Golden Knights are in their inaugural season and off to a fascinating start. The Golden Knights are a surprising 6-0-1 and second in the Pacific Division. Thomas, would this be sustained?
Oh man, I mean, I'm very happy to see them doing well. It's awesome to see a new NHL team come in and just take the league by storm. I don't think anyone was expecting this.
Right.
But that being said, don't think they can maintain this success. They've had a really easy start to the season, played Arizona twice, played Detroit and Buffalo once. Pretty easy victories and a good way to start the season out though.
Actually just misspoke. They're 6-1-0.
Okay.
So sorry about that.
That's fine.
But I think that it's impressive for this team, as an expansion team, because no expansion team has played this well ever.
Right.
And I think that it is going to kind of be sustained because this team is not one that just kind of started up with a little bit of money, decided to expand. They put $500 million to start this franchise in Las Vegas.
They were definitely primed and ready to go. They got in guys like James Neal, Marc-Andre Fleury, great veterans that you can bring in to hold down your team and show the young guys how it works.
I think that they have these players that can put the putt in the net, the puck in the net, and that they're scoring, they're playing well. Are they going to continue to win at this amount? I'm not sure, but I think that the success is going to be sustained. And what a great time for Las Vegas. They need this. They need this team to build them up. Also, there was 14,000 season ticket plans sold prior to this. And I don't know how much you are into business of sport, but that's a lot of people that are saying,
especially for a hockey team in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm going to support this team where there's not even any ice naturally in Vegas right now. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be a long season.
So it's going to be a long season, but a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. The World Series matchup is finally set, and after an exciting baseball postseason, it all comes down to a best-of-7 series between the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Ellie, only one question needs to be asked. Who's winning this thing?
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about the World Series and about baseball.
All right, why the Dodgers? Let's hear it.
I think that the Astros and the Dodgers had a wonderful run in both, but the Dodgers have the best record in baseball in regular season. And going back to where I said that last year with the Cubs, they had the best record in baseball, ended up winning the World Series. The Astros have a good shot. I will say, my bias, I am pulling for the Astros.
Oh, they deserve it.
But I think that the Dodgers are going to win.
I think the Astros got this thing in the bag. They're riding off the momentum of beating the Yankees.
In the bag?
Yeah, they got got in the bag.
No.
I think they're going to win. I think they're going to take in
And
5.
4 get 5. Astros in 5.
Give it in 5.
I'm going at least 6 or 7 in Dodgers.
I think
And
with Verlander or Keuchel pitching on the road,
that's
definitely
tonight.
pick up a win there. Exactly. And then Houston hasn't lost at home all postseason.
it's crazy. And the Yankees-Astros thing, they lost all the time at in New York. But the thing about it is the Dodgers have home field advantage.
Yeah.
So even though if the Astros can play well at home and win at home, there's still more games in LA than there are in
Absolutely.
Houston.
I'm very confident in
So-
Verlander and Keuchel, though. I think that they can definitely pull out
Who's
a
going to
win
win
there.
Game 1?
Houston.
Ooh.
Astros.
Let's
go Astros, baby.
LA, wow.
All day.
I'm going with the pitching on both teams is incredible. The hitting, Jose Altuve, just incredible player.
his
The
time to shine.
Astros, it is. But they struggled a little bit against the Yankees. In my opinion, I think that the Yankees should have won that.
Gonna be a fun one to watch.
Great season for the Yankees, but it's going to be a fun one, and the Dodgers are going to win.
All right.
Finally, the NFL may have found its new star. Kansas City Chiefs running back Kareem Hunt made history last week when he became the first player ever to have 100-plus yards in his first 7 games. He seems to have Rookie of the Year locked up, but should we start considering him for MVP?
Absolutely, 100% yes. This guy has historic numbers as a rookie. He's only the second player in NFL history to reach 1,000 yards in 7 games. Insane numbers for a guy like that.
I think statistics say so themselves, and
Yeah.
I would agree with you on this, Thomas, that if the kid does not win Rookie of the Year, there is something wrong.
Something wrong for sure.
And I hate to say we have it locked up, but I think he does. And why shouldn't he?
As far as the MVP race goes, I mean, with the amount of injuries that's been happening this season, a lot of the other candidates are out. Like a lot of the big names, Odell Beckham Jr., Aaron Rodgers, even his teammate Alex Smith were considered for MVP. But now really the only guys that I can see, Kareem Hunt, Carson Wentz, Tom Brady.
Ooh, and I think it should go to Kareem Hunt, and I'm
Absolutely.
agreeing with you on that. He has
Yeah.
the most rushing yards per game, and total yards from scrimmage in the NFL. And the Chiefs, I don't think anyone expected them to be such a good team. And he is helping. The team as a whole is very good right now, but he is carrying this team. I don't know if you watch Sunday Night Football and the Raiders. The
Absolutely.
most incredible Sunday Night Football game I've seen in a long time.
He's running all over the place. And depending on how well he performs without Alex Smith, I think that's going to say a lot about his stock for the MVP race.
I agree.
Yeah.
I hope he wins both. So.
I do too. It'd be really interesting to see. But that's all from us. Don't go anywhere because I'll be joined by our college football experts next to break down what's going on in the top 25. The college football top 25 saw some major changes over the past week. I'm joined at the desk by our experts, Matt Holzaffel and Ennis Warlick, to discuss which teams have been the most disappointing and which teams have the best chance at recovering from a loss. So guys, let's get started. Which team whose rankings drop has the best chance making it back into the top 25? Matt, what do you think?
I said Oklahoma. They dropped to 10, which isn't that far. But when you look at their offense, and Baker Mayfield, who's arguably a top 5 quarterback in college football, they have the most efficient offense in college football, so they're not having a problem offensively.
Right. But see, Baker Mayfield is a very exciting QB. There's no doubt about that. But what did Bear Bryant say about what wins you championships?
Defense.
Defense. They don't play any defense at all. 35 points to K-State, 31 points to Iowa State, 41 points to Baylor.
And 2 of those were wins. Don't forget that.
Right, but they're all unranked teams, which means they're cutting it close against teams that they should be blowing out of the water. I picked Clemson. They play defense.
But they don't play offense.
They don't play offense, but they didn't have their QB. They haven't had their QB for a couple weeks now. They have an easy schedule going out for the rest of the season.
They do. They have at NC State, who's number 14 right now.
Right, they have NC
and
State.
At South Carolina, who, while they're not ranked, is still a formidable
So
opponent
guys,
in an
let's
in-state
keep it in the top
rivalry.
25 right now. What top 25 team has been the most disappointing this season? Ennis, who you got?
I don't think it's even a question who the dumpster fire of college football is right now. It's obviously FSU. FSU is ranked. Some people had these guys ranked ahead of Alabama,
Wow.
and they're 2-4 right now. I have to pinch myself. I have to physically pinch myself every single time I have to watch this team play to see to check if I'm dreaming.
But
Check
are
if I
they
even still have
that
a
bad
pulse.
if they don't lose DeAndre Francois at the beginning of the season? Are they this bad if they don't lose their starting quarterback?
Well, they shouldn't be 2-4. They still have 3 potential first-round draft picks on defense: Derwin James, Tavares McFadden, Matt Thomas. They shouldn't be this bad. This is inexcusable.
Matt, how about you? Who do you
I
got?
have another team who also lost
You
a
got the
quarterback.
colors on
I
it.
said Michigan. Yeah, the Khaki Crusaders and Jim Harbaugh. They're having a lot of problems this year. They started as high as number 9. They dropped all the way out of the top 25 with bad losses to Penn State, 42-13. Given Penn State's a great team,
They're a great team.
but Michigan is just.
Saquon Barkley.
And
is
like I said,
obviously
they also
unreal.
lost Wilson Spate. They also have to play number 5 Wisconsin and number 6 Ohio State to end their season. and they're 2-2 in the Big Ten. They can't even get in the top 5 of their own conference, which they're supposed to win. So how are we supposed to respect them in the top 25 if they can't even win their own conference?
Right.
It's really strange talking about FSU, Michigan having struggles like this.
Right, two
Hopefully they
powerhouses.
can get back into it. Hopefully they can get back in the top 25. But that's all from this block. Don't go anywhere. Ellie will be going fast and turning left with our NASCAR experts.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection.
hand?
They need you.
No thanks, Dad. I got it.
Okay. I'm gonna go fix the lamp in your room.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs, just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay? Got it. No?
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
For you.
They want to help, but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back. The NASCAR playoffs are halfway complete, and it is time we take a pit stop with our experts David Flint and Mason Stolf to tell you what you need to know in this postseason. So what is the biggest surprise so far in the chase, David?
It's Ryan Blaney for me. I mean, I know he's in essentially a Team Penske car, but it's for Wood Brothers Racing, a single car team. 10 years ago, they weren't even running the full schedule. And who did he replace in that car? Trevor Bayne.
Here's my thing with Ryan Blaney, though. He really hasn't shocked me that much this season. He won at Pocono, he was second at the Daytona 500, and also he had a fantastic last race at Kansas. But what's been his best racetrack? Kansas. 2 of his top 3 finishes this year, 1 of his top 3 finishes last year, 1 of his top 10 finishes, 1 of his 2 top 10 finishes the year before.
I'll give you
all
that,
at
but
Kansas.
I mean, he's essentially, in comparison to all the other playoff drivers, he's essentially a rookie. He's in his second full-time season.
You know who's a rookie, though? Chase Elliott. The kid's 21 years old, and what's really impressive about him is that for the second straight year, he's going to be a top 10 driver without a victory.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, though. Ryan Blaney, yes, he's Dave Blaney's son, one of the best dirt sprint car drivers in the country. Dave Blaney had 0 Cup victories. Chase Elliott, he's Bill Elliott's son. Bill Elliott had a monopoly on the most popular driver award until Redneck Jesus showed up.
Yes, I understand it's a family thing, but we're talking about right now, this season, Chase Elliott, 10 top 5s, 18 top 10s, no wins, but he's still a stud.
Guys,
Exactly,
these are both
no
very
wins.
racers, race car drivers. Yes, that's correct term. So guys, what is your biggest disappointment? Mason, I'll start with you.
Matt Kenseth. It has to be Matt Kenseth because this is a guy that right now has the most active starts of any race car driver out there. This is his first year without a victory since 2014, and he had a huge mistake this weekend to knock him out of the chase thanks to some pit crew problems. It has to be Matt Kenseth.
David.
For me, it's undoubtedly Kyle Larson. Now, it was more luck than anything for him. He blew a motor. He's been one of the 3 best cars all year, but his time will come. He's in his mid-20s. He'll get his title.
Yeah, it was shocking that he didn't make it, but I do say that he had a similar 3-stretch run of like this earlier in the season when he raced at Indianapolis, Pocono, and Watkins Glen and really didn't show up in any of those races.
I didn't expect him to, though. I mean, he's still young, and you got to keep in mind, a lot of these younger guys never shifted on a car.
But you also said it yourself.
Who's going to win this thing?
Martin Truex Jr.
He is the best car, I'll give you that. But
quick, who's going to win this?
The experience of Kevin Harvick is going to get it done. Rodney
Truex,
Kevin
7
Harvick.
wins. 7 wins.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for your time. I'm calling the checkered flag on this block, but up next, Thomas will be joined on the gridiron for Panic or Not to Panic. This is something you don't want to miss.
The NFL season is halfway through, and we're joined by our NFL experts, Chris Edwards and Andrew Vandellis, to tell us what teams need to hit the panic button and what teams can hold off for another couple weeks. So guys, first up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs coming off of 2 straight losses, but still at the top of their division. Andrew, do they need to hit the panic button?
Absolutely not. They're playing great football, and when you think about their 2 losses, they only came against arguably the best trio in all of football and the Oakland Raiders, who are finally starting to get their groove and keep it competitive in the AFC West. I mean, Derek Carr is arguably like the best young quarterback in the league, and they're not having a team or quarterback crisis. Alex Smith is having a career year, and the only panicking should be with the defense and how many yards and points per game they're giving. But that's it.
That's what I was saying. Like, there's definitely like some reason to like kind of move towards the panic button. Like, to your point, like I'm not worried about the Chiefs offense. I think they're just a little bit in a funk. But the Kansas City Chiefs defense has been terrible ever since week 2. They're actually 31st in the NFL. That's like second worst to actually the Oakland Raiders. Kareem Hunt's going to be fine. Alex Smith is actually playing some of his best football right now. Travis Kelce is a great tight end. I'm not worried about the offense at all, but I think the game coming up, which we're about to talk in a minute, is against Denver. If they don't win that game, that can kind of like teeter on like what they can do later on.
I mean, but when you think about it, Alex Smith has a 15-0 touchdown to interception ratio, and if he can keep that up against the best rushing defense and one of the best passing defenses,
but if your defense doesn't help you out, you know, like if he gets tired and the offense kind of gets into a funk, everything
guys,
kind of.
But they also have the next team that you just mentioned earlier, Denver Broncos, also coming off of 2 straight losses. One of those being to last place Chargers, though. Chris, do they hit the panic button?
I'm hitting like 2 panic buttons right now. Do you see this? I'm hitting a panic button.
Absolutely.
Because you got shut out by the Chargers, who were just a trash team in general.
Stadium.
And B, the fact is, like, they have like the worst scoring offense right now. It's like literally dead last in the league. They're only averaging about 10 points a game right now ever since week 2. If you let Trevor Siemian try to beat you, you are going to lose.
The thing is with that, they're handling the departure of Peyton Manning. It's like they've had like a 2-year hangover carrying on. What are they doing? Who is their franchise player? I mean, their defense has been consistent, but they don't really have a standout star on the offensive side, and that worries me.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They do have standout stars. They have some like one of the best wide receiver duos in the game.
But they don't have a leader.
Yes, they have Demaryius Thomas. They have Mio. I do agree. Like at the quarterback position is very questionable.
You need someone to really kind of command the field when your offense is on.
What happened to Von Miller?
I don't think
no offensive commander. That's what you're saying.
Yes, no offensive commander.
Defense is the issue
It's all about reciprocation, and the defense is more than carrying their side of the load. But I'm hitting the panic button because you need to help your defense out.
Yeah, absolutely. If they don't have like a run game, because C.J. Anderson is a great running back, but in the games where he does not have like more than like 20 or 40 yards, they lose. He only had like 2 games where he had over 100 yards. Those are 2 out of 3 of the Denver's wins. Ever since then, no wins at all. So they need to get the run game going.
For me, it's just that there are too many questions and not enough answers.
Absolutely, and I think you hit it right on the head. Life without Peyton Manning's been pretty tough for them. They're having a hard time adjusting.
Rough.
Got used to that luxury pretty quick. So guys, last team we're going to move on to, Atlanta Falcons. 3 straight losses. You doing all right?
No,
it's going to be okay. And they just got whooped in that Super Bowl rematch by the Pats. So, Andrew, they
My
hit the
thing
panic
is,
button.
Chris, I'm sure you can answer this. Where is the same amount of electricity and efficiency that they had last year? Where are the big scoring games? They're 21st in points per game, and it's bad when you're top 10 in yards passing, but you're 21st. You're not putting up the amount of points that you did. You're not really making the offense as efficient as it was last year.
Here's the thing, because like when I was doing research, like there's still a top 15 offense. There's
Agreed.
actually a top 15 defense right now, like all around. That's not the problem. You still have the same personnel players as you mentioned. You still have the former MVP in Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, the best running back duo in Devonta Freeman and Tevin Coleman. Why aren't you utilizing those players?
Exactly.
Why?
Something.
The coaching staff.
No, it's a combination of things. It's a combination of players not executing. It's also a combination of bad play calling by Steve Sarkisian.
I was going
to
say something isn't clicking. There's a disconnect between the players and the offense, and it seems like Steve Sarkisian. So with that, I agree with you. And it's bad when Matt Ryan all last season threw 7 picks, and now he has 7 already.
Like 7 touchdowns, 6 picks. It's
yes,
ridiculous.
That's what I meant.
And when we're talking about like the last game against New England in the rematch, some of those plays, like if you look at the box score, you think, oh, Matt Ryan had a great game. But in reality, he didn't because some of the throws that he made were just really terrible.
Let me say, it feels a little weird talking about the Broncos and Falcons struggling for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll get there. But that's all the time we have for this block. Don't panic because Ellie will be headed to the hardwood to discuss some rookies in the NBA.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
It's no fairy tale that the right fit means everything, especially when it comes to car seats. Always choose one that's the right fit for your child's age and size.
That does make a difference.
To find out more, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Over the last few years, a few NBA rookie classes, if any, have made as much hype as the talent of the current one? I'm joined at our desk by our experts, Dominic Vernanza and Brad Keller, to break down which rookies might separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Starting off, we're going to go with which one do you think is the rookie this year? Brad.
For me, rookie of the year, it's got to be Ben Simmons. First pick in the draft last year, 6'10", elite in transition, incredible vision and size. Does not have the jump shot. He had a triple-double his last game against Washington. Started the year at 20, 10, and 5. The guy is unstoppable, and he's a menace with Embiid next to him. It's got to be
Dom, who do you have?
It's funny, a lot of what you said about Ben Simmons actually applies to my pick, Lonzo Ball. Also, tremendous passing instincts. He's 6'6", he's long for a point guard. His scoring is a little bit questionable, but I think that he's going to have even more opportunity than Simmons. And as we know, Rookie of the Year doesn't always go to the best player. It goes to who has the most minutes and opportunities.
Minutes and opportunities, but if you add an elite player next to Ben Simmons, that only accentuates and allows more opportunity for him to get more assists, more points,
but I just think that Lonzo Ball is going to put up bigger raw stats.
You sound like his dad.
Do I? Yeah, I'm me and LeVar in cahoots here.
Two hype men. I just don't see any way that Simmons, with the crew around him, doesn't win Rookie of the Year. He's by far shown he's the best rookie in these 3 games, much more than Lonzo has.
Who do you guys think going forth in the next 5 to 10 years, who is going to lead?
So for me, it's a little bit of a dark horse pick, but I'm going to go De'Aaron Fox. I love his game. I love his mentality. He reminds me a lot of a John Wall. He is lightning quick. He's a leader. He can score. He's a good passer, solid rebounder. I think when we're looking back on this class, I think he develops a jump shot, and we look back at him as the best.
I'm a big De'Aaron Fox guy, too. I like the Sacramento took him. I think he's going to develop well. But going back to Ben Simmons, there's no way it's not Ben Simmons. All the attributes I already listed, if he adds a jump shot to that, we're not looking at the best player of this group. We're looking at one of the best players in the entire NBA.
That's my biggest question about Ben Simmons, though. He has attempted one shot outside of 15 feet. He's shown no range whatsoever.
Even without it, he gets to the rim at will. He gets
but
fouled.
I just worry what his ultimate ceiling can be if he's not a shooter at all. No shot whatsoever.
He's an all-star without it.
I agree he's going to be an all-star almost 100%, but I just think if we're looking at the best player down the road,
I think a perennial all-star.
I just think it's going to be tough if he just not only can't he shoot, but he's unwilling to.
Let's go with teams. Who do you guys think are going to win the playoffs this year? Is it going to be another Cavaliers Golden State kind of thing, or what are we going for?
I think that'll end up being the finals matchup. It's going to be a tougher road with the Cavs.
I think the Cavs are too old.
Who do you
put? The Bucks. The young Bucks led by Giannis Antetokounmpo,
come on,
league's MVP.
What about you?
I'm going to say Giannis is the MVP also, but it's got to be the Cavs in the finals against Golden State.
Gotta be.
Yes,
they're old. They can't shoot the 3 as well as they can. I don't think Isaiah Thomas is coming back that healthy. They're going to miss Kyrie in the playoffs. I think this is a young
LeBron
Bucks
James.
time.
You have the team that you took from last year, and you're just putting Isaiah in place of Kyrie, which is
I don't think Isaiah's going to come back healthy.
He's going to be back in February by the time the playoffs roll around.
We have a little while till the playoffs, but thanks guys for joining me. That's all the time we have for basketball, but Thomas will be joining me next to discuss the biggest teammate feuds in sports history. Stay tuned.
The Chicago Bulls recently suspended Bobby Portis for 8 games after injuring teammate Nikola Mirotic in a fight during practice. In the world of sports, players get heated, and even teammates can face the wrath of those who get a little too competitive. Ellie, what's the biggest teammate feud in sports history?
You know what, Thomas? I think it's hilarious when teammates fight.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
You guys are on the same team trying to win.
Isn't the goal to win? Like, let's not fight with each other.
I mean, what happens behind closed doors at practice is another thing, though. Who knows what happened over there?
Maybe they get mad at each other.
Mirotic has a big mouth, maybe.
My biggest rivalry, I'm going with the Washington Nationals, Bryce Harper and Jonathan Papelbon.
Ooh.
This happened in 2015 where Harper flied out, and the team was playing very well. They were supposed to make the playoffs, and things just didn't go so well. So Harper flies out, and he gets back to the dugout, and Papelbon grabs him by the throat and pushes him up. And it's like, are we watching reality TV or baseball? And baseball is not known for this uncharacteristic behavior.
Hey, I mean, when the guys get heated back there, you can't stop them, especially when you got bats out there. That's one thing. Yeah, get a little dangerous. True. I'm going classic Shaq versus Kobe, NBA feud, 3-time NBA champs with each other, but literally the whole time they were together, they were always clashing. All this backroom talk in the locker room about each other. Kobe was such a straight, serious guy. He always wanted to win games, and Shaq's just, Shaq. He's a big, lovable goofball, but really good too.
But these two are very good. I think that in my instance, they didn't really compare as players as much. And these are still great names that anyone would know who these are. I think if you mentioned Bryce Harper or Jonathan Papelbon, people are going to definitely know.
Who's Jonathan Papelbon?
Exactly.
But I think with Kobe and Shaq, that's the big thing, is this was one of the first times where 2 huge superstars came together and had to duke out who was going to be the leader.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Kobe won.
I hope that we don't see any more definitely in the World Series coming up.
No
team
choking
using-
in the dugout,
choking in the
anything
dugout.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's avoid that. Keep the World Series clean.
Yes, I'm very excited, as you can tell. That is a wrap for this episode of 101 Sports.
Special thanks to all of our crew, talent, and you for tuning in.
If you want to check out more, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all at 101 Sports.
And until next time.
Whose side are you on?